proven because that champion is out of control right now.
And with that, that is the truth as we do load on to the Rift, and we're going to see how truly broken it is. So, with Team Juanito over on the blue side, actually switching up from the last game, and also TheseHoesAin'tLaura on the purple side. We're going to get into this game.
We are on the Rift and ready to go.
Oh yeah. One thing I do have to mention, like, you remember, like, one of the earlier cinematics for League of Legends where it actually showed, like, the summoners controlling the champions, right? Whatever happened to that idea? I always thought that was really cool.
I think just the conception and the personalities of the champions have evolved. Like I think it's much more the concept of the summoners controlling them, of course, is interesting. Yeah, the sapling's gonna spout them out, but the personality that Riot has given to the champions is much more interesting to explore. And obviously, if you remove that element of the summoner, you get to explore each champion's personal flair.
This really makes me want to play Maokai now.
Maokai.
Can we have a kitty cat skin for him? Please.
Halloween. See, I'm telling you, they should. Oh no, rip.
And there goes.
He doubled
yep.
the wall.
And
Don't
he's
flash.
actually he's gonna have to burn both his heal and his flash just to survive and not give up first blood.
I don't know if that's worth it. If the one advantage is that again it's against a Fiddlesticks jungle, so it's not like it's like a Lee Sin or a Rengar or a Elise that's going to gank them immediately. So maybe the next time jungle pressure or he needs to really utilize that flash, he'll have it back up. But typically burning both summoners is not worth it in that case because it's immediately going to transition, or it should, into the first blood of your lane.
It is not going to be worth it because he's also going to be behind on CS now. He's going up against a Jinx of all things.
Well, more importantly, he's going to be late to the EXP, and that level 2 from Thresh is devastating.
Well, for that, you're going to have to see how they're going to actually come back because they're just now getting in the lane.
The lane's over for him. The one thing that could be to the advantage is if Eddie and Nightfox actually reset the wave and they don't use their EXP advantage and the summoner advantage. So, like, if they keep Dean, of course he just got hooked up here, but he'll be fine. If they keep Dean and Mist constantly in their tower, that's effectively where Nami and Vayne want to be because they're still getting free EXP and gold pushed into them, as well as, you know, not putting themselves in danger. So what Eddie and Nightfox should do here is they should reset the wave and then freeze it in the middle and really punish.
Still, they are getting pushed up against their tower. Bottom, you were right. Bottom lane is very interesting to watch, and Eddie just was able to have that advantage with Vayne not being there, almost being the first blood, having to burn both of his mastery spells, and that is what Eddie needed to really start snowballing ahead, even though Dean is keeping up in CS and farm right now. He's getting pushed to his tower. He's getting too much pressure on him. But still farming really well.
See how they handle that pressure. Beam on the top lane. Kimmix pushing in Ragnaroks.
Ooh, both junglers looking to try to do something. Kha'Zix is gonna come, trying to see it, and there goes the stun. Jeez. Fiddle.
He actually dodged the slow, too.
Fiddle. 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 Can we get the fiddle? Fiddle, fiddle,
Maokai?
Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle.
With the dodge on the Kha'Zix slow by going underneath it, and then he does more damage than the red buff jungler approaching him.
A little bit broken, just a little bit.
It was really well played by Kimmix as well to utilize the, what is it? I want to call it Tormented Soil, but it's not because he's not Morgana. Twisted Advance. I, too, can be a play-by-play caster.
Yay!
I'm double checking. It is Twisted Advance. I'm a god. There he goes.
Oh, and the flash is gonna have to be burned. That was almost gonna be first blood.
He also misplayed his sapling. Chemex threw it too shallowly. If he had thrown it past the minion wave, it would have waited for Mundo to get the flash. He still probably wouldn't have killed him. I believe Mundo would have survived with like 2 HP, but it would have been a little bit closer. And of course, you don't want to ever have a mechanical misstep. You want to get the most damage as possible, and frankly, his sapling toss was not the answer.
Ooh, but the condemned into the wall is going to do some damage, and Demonizer, though, doing a lot of damage on Orianna. Look at the saplings! Just throwing them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Mistral Gun. Nope.
Disconnected.
Nope.
Oh, no, he's fine.
He's fine. He was baiting them. It was all
I'm not quite sure what he was baiting there.
Oh, but Kha'Zix is in the enemy jungle. They're gonna meet!
Oh no, level 5 versus 3. He doesn't have any way to stop the drain.
Oh, and he's running, but he's actually gonna get caught out. The hook! Can we see it? Yes, we can. The fear and the hook comes out. That is first blood taken by Thresh. Oh.
Don't believe that Cool had to flash there, although it's definitely going to be worth it to trade for that 400 gold. They aren't going to transition this into a dragon, so sigh of relief there for blue side as far as that could have been worse.
That definitely could have been worse because they had an opportunity to do an early, definitely an early dragon. I think it would have been a little bit risky, but they did have the opportunity.
See what the spot lane continues to do. I feel like Eddie and Nightfox aren't doing the best job managing their wave. Dean and Mist are still getting a lot of free EXP, although here comes the engagement.
And that is true. The rocket's just coming out. There's really nothing to do right now. Still, Firethorns just trying to shield and taking quite a bit of damage coming out from Zed. But Kirmax actually might go down. Nope. And the death sentence is barely going to miss Dean.
The only reason Maokai is having a hard time in that top lane right now is because he hasn't bought yet. So Ragnarox has an item advantage in the form of that Negatron cloak already on him. Although here we go. Like last game, Cool Dream comes out with the early pink ward and is transitioning this into a solo dragon. And what makes this really key and important is the fact that both his solo lanes are pressuring their waves incredibly hard, meaning that they have complete eyes on every single member of the enemy team other than the jungler.
And with that, they do not know that Fiddle is actually doing the jungler right now, doing the dragon, and they should really be. And with 740, the first dragon going down in favor of TheseHoesAin'tLaura, I really think it's miscommunication again on Team Juanito's part, because they should have realized that Fiddle had done the dragon on his own last game and really had warded that, had that dragon pit warded early.
They needed to have it warded, but the only person who would be in position to walk over and ward it is the jungler, and since he died early on the invade, unfortunately they just don't have the gold to offer to it.
And that is true, but there we go. Level 6 is going to come down. Thresh is taking a little bit too many tower shots. And, gets out alive just after taking 2 shots. Nearly 80% of his health just gone.
That was a bizarre dive right there. Didn't have any mana. He effectively was completely and then chose to chose to dive, excuse me.
He chose to doge.
He chose something, and it almost burned him.
You know what you should do? I still remember and this is like off topic, but I still remember you made the Thunder Frog picture, and oh yeah, I think you should make a sister company of Thunderdog, Thunder Frog.
Thunder Frogs. My favorite thing is whenever I'm anywhere, everyone's like, "Are you Icelandic? Are you aware that Frostgren means frog in Icelandic?"
Never.
I had no idea.
I just use it every day of my life. Don't worry.
We do have Ragnarox burning his ultimate up in the top lane there. Things got a little bit heated between him and Chemex. Was starting to win those trains. Unfortunately started to go south, but utilizing the regen. Now Nightfox pressing forward, trying to find the death
and the condemn going down. Will it actually be enough? The zap missing. Actually has to use the flash. Both from Dean. And will it actually be enough? And that could actually be a double kill coming out from Jinx now chasing. But Crowstorm is going to come out in the top lane. It is actually going to tower dive onto Mundo. That is not going to be enough. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but coming out in favor of TheseHoesAin'tLaura for a 2-for-1.
And look at the tower dive synergy and potential of this team. That was on Mundo, the tankiest member of their team. The fact that you have Maokai, incredible tower dive potential, Fiddlesticks, enormous tower dive potential, and Zed. There are a lot of threats, and no one is safe now that these three champions are level 6.
It seems like right now it's just what Cruel's Dreams mentality of is do Dragon after his second blue buff and continue farming up until that point, and then once you actually do have your gold income item, because that gives you enough cooldown reduction and also ability power, then just go ganking anywhere you want with Crowstorm.
Pretty accurate right now, and it's working out for him because, again, his lanes are just winning on their own. The fact of the matter is he doesn't need to apply the jungle pressure earlier because his laners are so strong.
Ooh, and Ragnaros is having to pop his ultimate, but still, Grimmix, can he actually do it? This is still going on, but
Maokai has cooldowns.
He does, but he's actually going to have to flash out. Will it be enough? Yo! No, it will not. Ragnarok is going to be able to pick up the kill.
Effectively, what happened right there is a complete misplay, mechanical misstep on Chemex's part right there. Again, if you're playing with a cooldown-based champion against a region-based champion, you need to play around those cooldowns. If he had played more of a poke-style game, as opposed to the hard engage right there, he would have won out there, but
Sapling.
It just, he had the burst damage from the Q, although Tidal Wave coming out. Swing and a miss.
And the misplays are real right now as the Tsunami Wave, Flash, Stealth,
oh, but
you
he got
name
Maokai.
it. Oh no, Crowstorm, everything. That is going to be a 4-man dive on bottom. Both teleports being used to actually just go there. If they could actually get
She
that tower. Nightfox.
She's looking for one more rocket.
If that's what Thresh was doing, if the whole team had actually converged onto that tower, they would have killed it and actually started to go onto the enemy team. Now Kha'Zix and the rest of the team has to actually back off. They did get the tower. Still, it's going to have to watch out. Team Juanito is not in a good situation right now. 4,000 gold down. Still, ooh, Death Sentence barely missing Mistral Gun.
That's a devastating gold deficit at 12 minutes in.
13 minutes, but close enough.
In context, being down 7,000 gold in the Samsung Blue versus White game at 19 minutes was considered game over. So you're at, half that at 4,000 gold, so.
17,000. I think I saw that before. I was like last week or something. It was like 17,000 in a really
It was only 7,000, so they're half that.
But, Kimix! Ow! What is this? Can he actually do it? Command Shockwave is actually going to be able to pick up the kill, though, onto Maokai, and it's not going to be enough. Oh! And the Super Mega Death Rock picking up Orianna. They're still going for it. And Nightfox, the Tumbler actually works, and the bubble saves the 80 carry's life. Still, that was an awesome Super Mega Death Rocket.
Big issue with that re-engage, though, was that the exhaust was misused on Nightfox as opposed to Eddie, whereas Nightfox's exhaust went down on Dean's Vayne there, so that could have turned disastrous. But now we do have this the Dragon solo. Jungler is aware of it.
Oh, no! Nightfox is going to get caught out. What? His hook still landed, and he was still stuck under the influence of the stun after he died.
I think it's because he died just as the animation went out. It's typically called a bicycle. So if you're playing Caitlyn and Taric stuns you, if you cast your... it's a Dota term. If you cast your Q, so Caitlyn's Piltover Peacemaker, at the exact time that the stun hits you, it'll bicycle the stun duration to the duration of the animation, meaning that you're stunned for less time and you're able to get off an attack while CC'd.
Well,
It's the same
something new every
concept.
day. Oh, and this might actually be another tower dive by Cool Dream. Gonna have to watch this. Fiddle's waiting in the bushes.
Yeah,
And the
Crowstorm,
Crowstorm
here we
does
go.
come out. There's the fear coming down. Silence. And will it actually be enough? Yasuo IRL is actually in the way. Just saving his friend in the nick of time. And for that, I mean, having to pop his... That was actually a very well-timed ultimate by him.
Although Fire Thrones, and a bit of a
Oh,
sticky
and
situation.
the command shockwave. Will it actually be enough? Yes, it will by the death mark. Picking up and securing that kill. Oh, and the Q does land on Mistogun. Vayne is in the way. Tumble, though, and also the knockup coming by Tsunami Wave. The Q does land on Dean, though. Demonizer trying to see what he can do. Oh, no, the bubble is real. Demonizer death mark is not up, but is still going to be able to pick up that kill anyway. Oh. And Yasuo IRL, there's the stun coming out. Very well placed Super Mega Death Rocket to follow up by Maokai.
Two things. Demonizer was pretty much in spectate mode for about 45 seconds of that fight. He could have engaged that far earlier. I think he was trying to give respect to Vayne, but I think he realized halfway through, this guy's not doing any damage to my support Thresh. I bet I could just jump in here. So nice double kill pickup from him, but definitely going to give that to Night Fox. Really stuck with it. Was probably like, come on, Zed, get in here. The Super Mega Death Rocket was going to be aimed at the 2v2 matchup in the mid lane. Of course, they died, which allowed it to fly through and nail Yasuo IRL in the face. And like you said, it was a good follow by Kimix to say, hey, the damage already went down on this guy, but even better so that he used the Twisted Advance as Kha'Zix used his leap and followed him the full distance, which is pretty much what guaranteed that kill.
And that is true. Still a very well placed like Super Mega Death Rocket. That's what we call a coincidence.
But we'll see if they can turn any of these kills into anything. So effectively right now, TheseHoesAin'tLaura, they just got a bunch of free kills and a bunch of free gold, but it didn't transition into any sort of global objective. It's not like they immediately took Dragon or Siege mid or randomly Crowstormed bottom lane.
Oh, and with that, and the drain is coming out, taking a lot of damage. Dean, Will of One's Rocket, yes, and that is going to be a crit onto Vayne, but Eddie is actually going to have to flash and use Summoner Heal. He's actually going to dodge those cleavers going onto it. Ragnaros has popped his ultimate, but it is not going to be enough. Look at those rockets. Boom, boom, boom. Eddie, though, yes, and the Super Mega Death Rocket is actually going to be able to pick up the kill onto Mistogun, blocking it, but that's going to be a double kill onto Mr. Mundo himself. TheseHoesAin'tLaura ain't playing, and they're going to take every tower that they can. Already 0-2, and also 11,000 gold ahead.
Very nice door blocking from Eddie right there. Too bad it was a bad spot to be, but meanwhile, mid tower. Shockwave completely whiffs.
That was a very nice Shadow Clone, but still, Dean trying to go after it, condemned on the wall. Night Fox knows that he's dead. So, oh, Yasuo IRL gonna get locked up by that fear. Did do a lot of damage on the fiddle though.
Chase is not on.
Oh, and the flash over the wall saves his life.
But again, a lot of kills go down. No towers. The first tournament tower was finally taken, but team deathmatch as opposed to League of Legends. If you have the lead, typically you turn to Siege, which with Jinx, the Siege potential is out of control. The issue, though, is that you're trying to Siege into an Orianna. I just feel like they could snowball their lead a bit more effectively here, as opposed to see hero, kill hero mentality.
I mean, come on. It's fun watching these fights.
I like watching perfection.
That is true. And watching LPL, you must see. I mean, you gotta see some mistakes, but not all that many mistakes, you know. Oh, and the death sentence lands. That was a very well placed death sentence.
Again, utilizing that vision, since they have so much gold, they bought vision with it, and they're now just making picks.
But still, like I was saying before, the perfection coming out, like, there's obviously gonna be mistakes. We're all just humans, even pro League of Legends players. But LPL, I think that's as close as you're gonna get to perfection.
Korea is as close as you're gonna get to perfection. I
True.
assure you, there are their own set of mistakes, a very special set in LPL.
With that, the dragon is now live. Fiddle, Thresh, and Zed are going to go after it. Take an easy dragon. Jinx coming up the corner. I cannot wait for the new look on Summoner's Rift. I really cannot.
It will be something special. With that dragon down, though, the most important objective on the map is going to be the second tier mid tower.
Oh, and the Crowstorm and Fear and Silence come down like it's nothing. And that is a dead Orianna.
But right now, the chase is on from Ragnarok's on Kimmix. A little bit of BM going back and forth.
At this point, I do agree with you. It is... They're just playing with their food.
There is a little bit of BM going back and forth in chat.
Oh, guys, remember, keep the toxicity levels down. Try to be good sportsmanships.
I don't know where the rules are going to draw the toxicity line, but there are a lot of hurt feelings and crushed streams.
That is true. Still, Fear coming down. The cleavers are landing. The drain, though, is not going to do very much. Tsunami Wave is going to knock up everyone. The Q is going to land onto Ragnarok, and not going to siege on that tower very much, I will admit.
Hook does land, caught himself a fish.
Will it actually be enough? No, Bubble does not land. Still
Doesn't
Dean,
have the damage
Death Mark
there.
onto it. Oh, then the command Shockwave. Gonna pick up the kill. Crowstorm is gonna go right into the middle of the team. That's one kill. Fire, yeah, that's gonna be a double kill. And now they're gonna go on to Missile Gun. That is gonna be... Where's
He stole the
Yasuo?
kill. Farming the jungle.
I'm sorry. His team was fighting, and where was he?
It's game, set, and match, and Yasuo is... He's not playing League of Legends, he's playing AOL chat in League of Legends client.
Gotcha. Well,
Like I said, watching the all chat go down right now.
with that, still, Call Dream gonna be popping Zonia's Hourglass, gonna be taking that Lantern, and they're actually gonna back off, which is a very good call at this point. Mr. Gun and Dean, actually, they're still chasing. The Q is gonna land, and they're gonna pop Vayne like a bubble. And now the bolt is gonna land on Eddie, and they got the kill on Vayne. Now they really need to back off.
They have a lot of gold, so you have to think they just took the second tier mid tower, they took the inhibitor mid tower, as well as the inhib, as well as all the kills that went along with that tower dive. So you are correct that the call is to go back. Technically, they're incredibly strong, but that strength doesn't mean anything until they transition that gold into items, which, coming out the gate right now, look at those items. And there's the surrender.
And that is the game.